Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also support my small business at latricelimited.com. So I actually seen a tweet and it says, just a reminder that Nestle uses African children to harvest their cocoa for chocolate and even had the Supreme Court throw out a suit filed against them by children that they stole to slave for them. This isn't the last decade. This is last year. And there's an article that actually says that Mars, Nestle, and Hershey face child lawsuit, slavery lawsuit in the U.S. And the thing about it is I read it. I mean, it's a lot. I'm put some up on the screen, but it is a lot, I will tell you. And it was even more than that. So essentially what was happening is they deceived people. It was deception that they used to get these children, mind you. These aren't, 30, 40 year children underage. Okay. They used them, got them over here. Okay. And then they had them, doing the cocoa leaves and the plants and all the other stuff without paying them under terrible conditions. And they're like, yo, this is slavery. What are you even doing? You can't do this. And then, of course, you had the big companies that said, oh no, we didn't do it though, but we don't buy into that kind of stuff. We never would do something like that because we're just not that kind of people, right? The place that they were at was Ivory Coast, which produces about 45% of the global supply of cocoa. Okay, so this is the spot to be. Okay, and this is that is a potent necessary ingredient to make the chocolate. Okay, so you are using people to just so you could keep getting more rich, millions, billions of dollars. It says right here, it says the production of cocoa in West Africa has been linked to human rights abuse, structural poverty, low pay, and child labor. And that's what we have been seeing. And that's why these people have been, essentially filing lawsuits, and we have a lot of people because you have money, you're more credible, I guess we could say. Y'all are poor. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. We're not going to side with you guys. We're going to go over here and side with them. So it's a lot of different problems. And this woman that I actually seen on Instagram, that's the post that I put up. She is going hard on Nestle. Okay. And this is also something else that I have seen. All right. So she is replying to this post that I'm about to read right now. It's like, thank God Nestle, the company that gave free formula to women in Africa until their breast milk dried up, then started charging for it, is fixing the baby formula shortage. All right. And then she said, oh, and they were also responsible for the deaths of African babies by telling the moms that formula was better than breast milk. Many babies died because the mothers could not afford the formula and thinned it out, and many did not have clean water to mix it with. So here's the thing. They were telling these women that were over there, yo, your breast milk that you got, that ain't where it's at. That's not good. That's not good enough for your kid. I care about your kid. Okay. Do you? Because if you cared about your kid, you wouldn't use that stuff that came out of your breast. We're not doing that, right? Go buy my stuff. This is so much better, so much healthier. But something that's natural and free to you, they don't want you using. Okay. So they're like, nah, I want you using our stuff. So then you go and use their stuff, but then you can't afford it. And if anyone knows, when you get any kind of milk, whatever you get, Similac, whatever, if it says 1 scoop, you got to do 1 scoop. If it says 2 scoops per X amount of ounces, then you have to do 2 scoops per X amount of ounces. Like they said, they were thinning out the formula. You thin it out, that's less nutrition that your baby's getting. Okay. It's not like you could then be like, okay, well, I'll thin this out and I'll give you an apple so you can eat. You can't give them an apple because they can't eat that. So it has to be just the milk, and that's it that they need to be eating. If they're not getting enough nutrition, that's how you get the malnutrition, and that's how people end up dying. And that's what ended up happening. Also with breast milk, that is the best nutrition that anyone can get. Okay, that's the best nutrition for babies. It's directly from your breast. Okay, with that being said, if you don't use it, you will lose it. If you don't use it, your body will then be like, okay, well, I guess you don't need this stuff anymore, and then your stuff will start drying up and you won't get it out. You won't be able to get it out anymore. So that's the problem with that. And they waited. Oh, well, my stuff is dried up and I can't afford this formula. Well, what do I do? Yeah, we're for profit. So if you can't afford it, I guess you don't need it. I guess little Tommy doesn't need to eat, right? So that's the problem that we've been having. I also have a chart right here that just shows. So Nestle is not just that, what is that? That Nestle Quick with the little rabbit on there. It's not just hot chocolate, y'all. They own a lot. All right. Just looking at this right here, they got L'Oreal, they got Wonka, they got Gerber, and people were saying, "Oh well, you guys should be going after supply chains that do this and the suppliers of it, not necessarily the brands, to really make a difference." You know, if this company owns all this stuff, am I going to really be like, well, but I need to see who the real supplier is, and come on, y'all. Let's not play tit for tat and nitpick. Okay. These are the companies that this company owns. Okay. These are the sub companies. You got Nescafe on here. You got, another Nestle thing on here. You got Nestea or Nestea. I mean, there's so many other things. Chef Made on here. I mean, there's a lot of different things to which Garnier. There's a lot of companies on here that it owns. Some I've never even heard of, and I probably wouldn't even buy the stuff anyways. But a lot of it, yeah, people I'm sure are using this stuff like crazy. We see an extreme amount of commercials for this kind of stuff, anyways. So you look at it and it's like, wow, y'all are really. And this is the thing. People look and it's like, well, slavery, no one does that anymore. Slavery's done, da da da. Just looking at our prison systems, no, it's not. It's even in the constitutional that says pretty much you break a law, you a slave. You know what I mean? That's what it's saying. Here, you're using your slaves for profit. And that's all it is for profit. That's all it has ever been, was for profit. You look at a lot of people and what they say, and, you got people mad about black folks and whatnot, and it's like, well, y'all brought us here. You guys all brought us here because your government didn't want to pay your white booties. That's what it is. They didn't want to pay y'all living wage, so then they're like, well, let me get a better resource, which is free. And then that's what they ended up doing. Yet you mad at everybody else. You know what I mean? So it's like you guys are in all around. Slavery is still a thing, obviously. Maybe not in the sense that of what everyone thinks of you're going to get almost no clothes and whatnot, but we don't know. Has anyone seen a camera over there so we could see these kids? It may just be as bad as I'm thinking it is, or it could be a little less, as we have modern slavery in the US. It may be something like that, but the whole thing is they're not getting paid anything. They were lied to here, deceived, told, oh, well, it'll be this and we could pay. And then you don't do any of that. But those are my thoughts and opinions on this topic. And until then.